Wetlands harbor very unique plant communities that are found nowhere else. They also help curb runoff and flooding, control pollution.
The wetlands here in Alexandria are also home to several species of animals and plants.
The whole purpose of building the metro is for smart growth, and the city has a long history of smart growth where we are targeting the growth in the city on building higher density near our metro stations, and all the planning that has gone into Potomac Yard is contingent on having additional transit services for Potomac Yard. And now with the Amazon facility, it's even more important.
The way the city describes it is they describe the impacts as being very minimal because they will build the station up along the tracks over in that direction, and then they will fill in all this area during the construction activity, during the temporary staging. And then they say they will replace this area. They'll restore it to the wetlands that were here. We argue and feel very strongly on scientific ground that this whole area will be destroyed. You will not be able to restore the wetlands to any degree, and moreover you will begin to damage the tidal wetlands that flow along the edge of the parkway here and into the Potomac River. We're not opposed to building a new metro station. We certainly support getting more people out and reducing the effects of global warming and so on. The city here, though, simply picked a site that should never have been a site for a metro. The land we're walking in was actually a scenic easement. It had a scenic easement on it which prohibited development forever. And for whatever reason, for some reason, the National Park Service gave up those rights and is now saying the city can build on it. So we're not opposed to a metro, we just think it should be built in a place where you don't have this kind of environmental damage.
This area used to be the rail switching yard for the city of Alexandria for decades, actually over 100 years. A lot of stuff and debris have been deposited in this area and have been left undisturbed for a number of years, or for actually decades. And the concern is that in the construction, they're going to be moving and disturbing a lot of this land to put the new metro station in. They'll be hauling this soil and this debris out. There are PCBs and other things located in that soil that will be disturbed and then runs the risk of either contaminating the area in addition to potentially polluting the Potomac River, which is actually right next to us, not more than 500 yards to the east of this development.
The city's following all the proper regulatory procedures. And if you're aware, the environmental impact statement for that project was a very lengthy process where there was numerous opportunities for the public to participate and comment on. The city has a long history of having many participatory meetings where there are numerous opportunities for the community and people with specific issues to raise those concerns. And so with respect to that, those are all documented in the environmental impact statement. And I would just encourage people to go to that document and see exactly what all the documentation is, and then the plans that are in there minimizing the impact to the wetlands, as well as any mitigation that will be needed as part of the permitting process.
Well, we'll have to go back to the original EIS that was filed, and you will see that the EIS recommended environmentally not the location that the city is considering right now. It was what's called BCSX. It was the least disturbing to the environment. The association also filed comments in 2016, also indicating that the EIS had many flaws to it and should have been redone to indicate those comments and those flaws. The reason we don't believe those comments have been taken is because not one thing has shown up in any of the reports that have been filed about the concerns or have addressed those concerns environmentally.
The decision now rests, you might say, between public opinion, between the regulatory agencies, between what Amazon might say about this, if they feel that this is not good for their future as well, and our ability, perhaps legally, to challenge what the city is doing here.